All right, the 49ers season starts very shortly, and they don't have a kicker. We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, a mention of our sponsor, Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. 2 locations there in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. in both spots, 7 days a week, and or until they run out, and they may run out. So if you show up at 7:45 thinking, oh, man, I'm going to get my pick of the litter, no, you're not. They run out in real barbecue restaurants, and Pig and a Pickle is the best there is. Get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon. Go say hi to Mary. And tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. All right, let's talk a little bit about the 49ers and the kicking situation. Man, 2-3 weeks ago, the kicking situation looked great. Jake Moody was making 60-yarders in camp. Zane Gonzalez was connecting from 55 and 57 like it was nothing. Robbie Gould sitting by at his phone in Chicago. If those guys don't do the job, and everything was right with the world. And then Jake Moody pulled his quad. And then Friday night was going to be the Zane Gonzalez show, but in warm-ups, Zane Gonzalez yanked his calf. Now, I don't know that the calf strain, it's not a tear, it's a strain from what I hear. So maybe Gonzalez gets healthy soon. Moody's quad pull, I mean, you never know. You know, some guys have a quad pull, it lasts a year. Other guys have a quad pull, it lasts 2 weeks, 10 days. So we don't know the severity of either guy's injury. The 49ers are likely going to bring in a group of kickers to look at. Is one of them going to be Robbie Gould? You know, that's the million-dollar question. In fact, the last question that John Lynch was asked, or Kyle Shanahan was asked, I believe, before they departed on Friday, was, is Robbie Gould going to be on the list of kickers that you bring in? And I think both Shanahan and Lynch dodged and said, I haven't really seen the list. I don't really know yet. And I think Shanahan even dodged the next day during the media presser on the conference call where he was asked, hey, is Robbie Gould going to be one of the kickers that you guys bring in? Oh, I haven't seen the list. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not sure if I buy that. I'm not sure if I really buy the story that the head coach doesn't know who his kicker is going to be 2 weeks before and doesn't know what kickers they're bringing in to take a look at. Something tells me he probably does. Anyway, but that's where we're at. Jake Moody has looked really good in camp at times. He's made kicks from well beyond 60. He made a 60-yard field goal about 2 weeks ago that I think would have been good from 68. This is one of the strongest legs I think I've ever seen on a kicker. The guy's got a booming leg. Now, he's missed a couple field goals, and he's missed a PAT. And this would have been nice to see him in that third preseason game, but he's had a quad pull, and we couldn't see him. Well, then, okay, so if Moody's not ready, what are their options? Well, they could put him on IR and let him get healthy. They could put him on season-ending IR and end his year and just shelve him for the year. They could waive him and waive him injured if they wanted to and negotiate some kind of, departing contract, make him a free agent. They could put him on the roster. The one thing I don't think they're going to do is I don't think they're going to put multiple kickers on the roster. The roster spaces are just too valuable. There's too many other needs. There's too many, you need as many players as you can have. You can't go with 2 kickers. So I don't think they will. But they might initially, when I say initially, if they put Jake Moody on IR, he has to make that final 53-man roster, and then he gets put on IR. So he has to be part of the final 53, and then you can put him on IR and create another space. You have Zane Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is a veteran kicker that if he had not pulled the calf, you might have been able to get a 6th or 7th round pick from another franchise for Zane Gonzalez because he's been that good. He's made kicks from 55. He's made kicks from 52. He made a kick from 57. He's been very, very consistent in this camp. He's a veteran kicker that's probably better than 4 or 5 kickers that are their team's number 1 kicker. So if Zane Gonzalez was 100% healthy, didn't have a calf strain, I think the 49ers potentially could have gotten a 7th round pick for him. But now he's got a calf strain, so he's unknown. and Moody's got a quad pull, so he's unknown. And then you still have Robbie Gould sitting by. And some people would argue that, you know what? Why are you messing with a rookie kicker and an unknown free agent when you have a veteran kicker who was a leader in your locker room, who never has missed in the playoffs in his career, and he has stated that he wants to play for you? But once the Niners signed Javon Hargrave and gave him all that money guaranteed, I think they were looking to trim money in other areas. And Robbie wanted, probably, he made $4.8 million last year. I'm sure he probably wanted north of $5 million this year. And they said, you know what? We'll draft a kicker. We'll pay him the rookie minimum, which I think is like right around $750,000. So do you want Jake Moody for $750,000? Do you want Robbie Gould for $5,000? Now, here we are. It's August 27th. It's late in the year. I mean, nobody's picked Robbie up. It's late in camp. You might not have to pay him $5 million at this point. You might be able to get him for $3 million. You know, you might be able to get him for less than you had him last year. You know, and to me, I mean, all it's going to take is Jake Moody to miss one or two kicks early in the year, and people are going to be like, where's Robbie Gould? Because Robbie Gould was such a sure thing. He was such a dependable kicker. Outside of 40, it was cross your fingers, but inside of 45, let's say, he was money. He was making every kick. So now here we are. It's late August, and the Niners have some choices. If they think they think Moody's going to be their kicker for the next decade. Well, okay, if you think that's the case, but he's not healthy, maybe you put him on IR. Maybe you put him on IR to start the year. And then maybe Zane Gonzalez's calf strain is fine and he can kick week 1. But if he can't, then what? You know, maybe the best move is to get Zane Gonzalez healthy, trade him for a 7th round pick, take Jake Moody, put him on IR, and just kind of put him in bubble wrap and sign Robbie Gould. Sign Robbie Gould, get him out to Pittsburgh for week 1. Go with the veteran at the beginning of the year, and just tell him, you know, we've got Jake Moody on IR, and then at least you got a chance to bring Jake back onto the active roster later this year. Or if you want to bubble wrap him for a year, you got a chance to just kind of tuck away a really strong-legged young kicker that you still believe could be your kicker of the future. And you just go with Robbie Gould this year and lean on Jake Moody next year. All things being equal, if I could choose any path, that's the path I would go. I would try to get Zane healthy and trade him for a 7th round pick. I'd try to sign Robbie and make him my kicker this year, and I'd put Jake Moody on the IR, end his year, and let him redshirt for a year. That would be my call. We'll see what they do. But the Niners have suddenly a lot of questions going into week 1 when it comes to special teams and most specifically place kicker. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube. And thanks, of course, to all of our other sponsors as well, New York Style Sausage Company, Marin Auto Glass, and Underdog as well. But thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show. We'll see you soon on The Krug Show. Appreciate you watching the video.